Hi everyone, I'm Claire. I'll be teaching Emma today.
Hi everyone.
And we're gonna be doing a 30-minute abs and upper body, which sounds very fun. No equipment needed, so let's get into it. We're gonna lie down onto our back. Your legs can be bent, your feet can be on the floor. And then we're gonna reach our arms all the way up to the ceiling, so they're gonna be nice and straight. And we're just gonna start with our first warm up for our abs. So you're gonna reach the arms back behind you without letting the belly poof and the ribs open up. And then you're gonna bring the arms back to where they came from. And we're just gonna keep going. Be slow with this one and really don't let the abs poof and the ribs poof as the arms go back. Okay, I'm excited about this topic of conversation. I've been waiting. So as we're working out today, we're chatting about insulting other people's pets. And this is very timely because about 2 weeks ago when Emma was in New York visiting me, she said my dog was fat.
True.
Chunky, actually, which is not true at all. He's very skinny and athletic. And I felt a type of way about it. Do you actually think he's chunky? And what do you think gave you the guts to call him fat?
I haven't seen Doug in many months, and he's gained a little bit of weight. He's got a little bit of heft to him. I know under his fur he's a little scrawny, but he had some more girth than he normally does.
For 5?
That's all.
Did you think that I would react? I wasn't mad, obviously, but did you ever think it was going to offend me for 4?
To be honest, I didn't think about it, but now,
For 3?
in retrospect, I probably should have considered it.
Imagine
But
I
no,
said Nellie was ugly.
But it's not the same.
What do you mean, fat or ugly? Those are pretty.
No, I didn't say.
Both
He's just a little chunky. He's not fat.
Chubby is fat. Calling someone chubby is just as bad as calling someone fat. Okay, you're gonna do one more with the arms behind you. Good, and then you're gonna reach them back up over your shoulders, hold them there for a second, bring both of your legs up into tabletop, and then your hands are gonna go behind your head. All right, keep your head on the floor though. The hands are just behind there, but they're not really doing much other than opening up your chest. Keep your legs bent. Your left leg is gonna go down towards the floor. So left thigh goes away from the floor into what we call a toe tap, and then bring the leg back, and then we're gonna go to the other side. So really think about the thigh going away from the face versus the foot going down to the floor. And can you show one of the classic mistake people make when they do this? Yeah, so look at her back right here, but also do the thing where the people just send the foot down. Yeah, see what she's doing
and you
now.
feel nothing here.
Yeah, that's like a little can.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, so thigh goes away and don't let the back arch. You want to feel a lot of tension in the belly.
So in retrospect, I can understand how calling Dougie chunky could be taken as a personal attack. Partially because he can't control what he eats.
Yeah, for 9. I felt like you insulted someone that had no ability to defend themselves, and I was projecting for him. I was like, this poor guy. For 8. For 7.
It's kind of like the way that I feel when someone tells me that Nellie is too skinny. And I'm like, no, she's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. For 5, just know that then I went to the vet last week, a week after you insulted him. For 4. And it was a new vet. I'd never seen her before. Let's take 3. I'm going to have to finish my story when we get to a later variation, or I'm going to lose count. For 2. Okay. You're going to give me one more. All right, make sure you're even. All right, now we're going to add a curl as you toe tap the leg. So come up into a curl as the left leg goes down into a toe tap. Nice job. And then you're going to come back to where you came from and then other side. Yeah, so now we're working some upper abs and some low abs.
Immediately way more intense with the added curl.
I know. Well, it's also just generally just so much easier to feel the upper abs than it is the low abs. Okay. We're going to take 7 more, 12 total. Try to go slowly so you're at Emma's pace. All right,
Sorry,
for 6.
advance.
Yeah, if you finish earlier than she does, then just rest. You just need to do 12. All right, for 5. And then we're gonna start adding on. All right, for 4. Good. All right, for 3. I do have my Nelly insult though. I'll tell you what it is. Like if I had to pick something for 2, it's not that she's skinny. Okay, you're gonna give me 1 more. All right, now we're gonna add an arm extension. So as the right leg goes down, right arm goes on the outside of the body. Yeah, so same arm as leg. Yep, and then come all the way in and then other side. So left leg toe tap as the left arm goes along to the side of the body. So now it's much more difficult to keep your hips stable, which means your abs have to work harder.
Way more difficult to keep my hips stable and also more difficult to keep my chest like open and pointed up to the ceiling. So I'm really trying to do that as I curl.
For 7. Yeah, go slow with this. All right, for 6, like really try to, in French you say faut s'appliquer, like you really like try. What's the translation? For 5, like put your best foot forward.
Sure.
All right, for 4, that's always what Tim says to me when I like make dinner at night. He's like, applique-toi, like put your best foot forward. And I'm like, dude. For 3, because sometimes I like don't even like chop the herbs. I just put them on. All right, for 2. Okay, last one, meet me with the left leg down, left arm long, and you're gonna hold. Okay, right leg extends long now, so kick it forward in space, and then bring it back in. So keep going. So you're holding the curl, you're holding the left leg toe tap, and the left arm. All right, for 8. Okay, this should be much more difficult. All right, for 7.
Still trying not to arch my back.
Yes, and if it's too much on your left hip or your left quad, you can put the left foot down. All right, for 5. Good. For 4. And then we're just going to pulse through the leg in 3. This is the long ab series. For 2. Okay, hold the leg straight and now lift and lower that right leg. So the little baby pulses up and down of the right leg. Yeah, good. For 8. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Good job. All right, bring your knees into your chest. Okay, that was amazing. All right, we're just gonna start with some single leg toe taps on each side and then we'll do the other side. So hands go behind your head, keep your elbows on the floor, keep your head down, bring your legs back into tabletop. We're gonna alternate single leg toe taps. So right leg goes down, good, and then bring the leg back in, and then we're gonna go to the other side. So just do a few like this just to warm yourself up, and then when you're ready, as the leg goes down, come up into a curl. So curl as your left leg goes down, yeah, and then bring everything back in and down, and then other side. So we're alternating side to side. It's always nice to start with like a little bilateral situation before you get into the one side.
The meat.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're gonna start adding our arm extend. So right leg goes down, right arm goes long, bring everything back in, and then left leg goes down, left arm goes long. So same thing as the other side. Nice, we just don't need to do as many because we did a lot already. Okay, for 8.
Because we're doing so many curls, I will just remind you that you wanna press your head back into your hands so that you're not lifting from your neck as you curl. You don't want it to come from here.
Yep. For 4.
You'll feel way less abs if you lift from your neck.
All right, last 3. Yeah, like really think about like your whole upper back coming off. All right, for 2. Okay, next time your right leg is down and your right arm is to the side of your body, you're gonna hold. Okay, we're gonna extend the left leg long. Yep, and then you're gonna bring it back and you're gonna keep going. So the further down your right leg is, like the closer the foot is to the floor, the harder it is, unless you like fully put it on the floor. Then obviously that relieves the entire tension. But it will relieve your hips if that's getting icky. Okay, we have 6. Beautiful. All right, for 5, just know even in an ab series for 8 minutes straight. For 4, which is wild. Okay, last 3. Amazing. Okay, for 2. Last one, hold the leg straight. Hold it. Now little lifts and lowers of the left leg, keeping it nice and straight. Yeah, good. The lower the leg is in space, the harder this is going to be. For 8, 7, 6, abs in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my goodness.
Good job. All right, bring your knees into your chest. Take a little roly-poly side to side. And then we're going to come lie on our belly. And then I'm going to tell you what the vet said, and I'm going to tell you my Nelly insult because I just need you to know what it is. Okay. Not to be a
tit for tat.
Bitch, yeah. You know I love a little tit for tat. Okay. All right. Once we're here, your hands are to the sides of your chest. Okay. We're going to go ahead and extend our right arm out to a T as your left leg lifts. So right arm extends. Everything is off the floor when everything is lifted and extended. And then bring everything in and down, and then other side. So if you look at Emma, her nose is off the floor. So you're kind of like lifting your chest up a little bit. So you have a little bit of tension through the chest. This way your upper back can work. Yeah, good. And the tops of your shoulders. Okay, so I go to the vet. I see a new vet. And she like weighs him, whatever. And then she's like touching his ribs, you know, kind of going through the fur. He's very furry. And she's like, oh, I can like feel his ribs. And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, I thought we were going to have a conversation because when he walked in, he looks like very chubby, but he's actually really not. And I was like, thank God. So just so you know, he hasn't put on any weight.
Really?
0. And he's at the groomer right now, and he's getting a very short cut. So you will see.
We'll see the
when
aftermath.
it comes out. Yeah, he's very skinny. Okay, do you take it back now? For 7?
I guess it was just the fur. I don't know.
It
He
grows.
seemed dense.
For 6, I mean, the fur grows like in the most unflattering way for him. Like it accumulates around his midline. Like he just gets like a bigger muffin top. All right, for 3. Beautiful. Okay, for 2. All right, you're gonna give me one more. Both hands on the floor, both feet on the floor. Tuck your toes. We're gonna lift ourselves up into a kneeling plank. So if you don't know what that means, look at Emma. So keep your spine nice and straight as you do that. All right, once you're in your kneeling plank, you're gonna lift your knees off, come into a full plank. Yeah, there she goes. And then come back into your kneeling plank. So knees go down, butt goes down just a little bit. Yep. And then we're gonna go all the way down to the floor into a slow push-up. So bend your elbows nice and slow, and then you're lying back down. All right, same thing as we just did. So kneeling plank, so lift yourself up, good. And then full plank, nice. And then back into your kneeling plank, and then slow push-up until the belly touches the floor. Keep going. 10 total, you just did 2.
You're going to feel a lot of triceps when you do this because this is a tricep push-up on the way down. But the goal through the entire sequence is to keep tension in your core. So like, especially here when you're lowering your knees down to the ground, try to keep the tension in your core and not just let everything flop to the floor.
Yeah. For 6, it's all about your spine staying neutral. Okay. All right, for 5.
What's your insult for Nelly?
But I feel like a dick.
What is it? Is it that she looks like a hyena?
No, that's not an insult. That's cool. No, it's that she's a bit stinky sometimes.
She is stinky. She's very stinky. She
For
can't
3?
help it. Okay,
What?
you know what? She's not a designer dog. She's a mutt from a box off the road.
Whoa! no, she went there. Again, Doug not here to defend himself. All right, meet me in a full plank position. Yes, okay, and we're just gonna do 5 full push-ups. So now you're not gonna come down onto your knees. You're gonna bend your elbows nice and slow without putting the knees down until you're all the way lying onto your belly. Nice, good. And then we're gonna come up into a full plank without putting the knees down. So no like intermediate step. All right, just 4 more total. If this is too much and you feel like you can't keep your spine neutral, then just do the knees thing again. Like take that middle step. Okay, lots of triceps. Try to keep the elbows super close to the body. All right, for 3. This is feeling like a good class. Mm-hmm. All right, for 2.
This is really fucking hard. I'm struggling keeping my core engaged.
You got it. I'm very proud of you. Okay, 1 more all the way up into your plank, and you're gonna hold your plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a child's pose. Good job. I think it's just the poodle in Doug. Like, yes, he's a doodle. Everyone, you can shit on me for that. But I think it's just because he doesn't lose as much hair that he's not as stinky.
Well, he's just a bit of a yeasty dog.
Oh my God, ew. Okay, we're gonna sit onto our butt. Sometimes Doug has very yeasty ears, like when I go under. All right, legs are bent, feet are on the floor. You're gonna extend your arms nice and long in front of you. We're gonna head into a roll back series. So we're gonna round through our low back, our middle back, our upper back. Meet me halfway down and you're gonna hold. Once you're there, you're gonna row the arms low. So bring your elbows towards your back pockets and then extend the arms, and then we're gonna come all the way up and we're gonna keep going. Okay, can you cue everyone on the row, because I feel like people do this wrong.
So I'm trying to slide my hands down to the floor, almost like I'm trying to bring my forearms parallel to the ground, not here and not like crunched into my neck.
Yes.
It's coming from like your mid and upper back, not from the upper traps, not from here.
You're really gonna wanna also, like, as you row, unround the spine. It feels like unnatural to not. So if that's happening, just don't go as far back with the arms. Like, you really wanna keep the rounded spine, otherwise you're no longer in your abs. So if you can't bring your forearms fully parallel to the floor, that's okay. Okay, let's take 4 more.
After this, I have 2 Nelly insult stories from this morning alone.
For 3, what the hell? Okay. For 2, once we get into the next variation, you can tell me. Okay, you're gonna give me 1 more. All right, and then come all the way back up. All right, now we're gonna meet in our halfway roll back, and we're gonna hold the halfway roll back, and we're just gonna do 10 rows. Okay, so really press the heels down to the floor like Emma. Okay, for 9.
I'm gonna squeeze my legs together for a little bit more support to get out of the hip flexors. Yeah.
You're actually, we're not gonna talk during this. For 7, because it's super intense. All right, for 6, you can also straighten your legs if it's too much. For 5, good. All right, for 4, amazing. For 3, perfection. For 2, okay, you're gonna give me 1 more. Come all the way up for a sip of air. Take a sec. All right, last little thing. Meet me down into your roll back and you're gonna hold. All right, now just the right arm is gonna row, and as you do that, you're gonna twist over to the right. Really reach the left arm forward without turning the left arm to the right, and then come back center, and then other side. So the arm that is not rowing, imagine someone was like pulling it towards your feet. Don't let it turn.
This is very challenging, but also feels so nice to get a little twisty.
For 6, so you're gonna feel your obliques. Yeah, for 5. And then we just pulse on each side. And 4. Try to keep your spine rounded the entire time for 3. Good. All right, for 2. Meet me rotated to the right hold. Now pulse your chest up and down. I'm going to sneeze. Oh my God. 8. Thank you. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Rotate to the left. Hold. Little pulses up and down. Good. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way in. Nice job. Okay, let's open up our hips for a second. So bring the soles of your feet together into a butterfly and fold yourself over. Okay, what was the first insult from the morning?
Well, this morning, it's St. Jordi in Barcelona, which is basically similar to like Valentine's Day. So everyone's out and about.
I'll just set you up. Come onto your right forearm. Both legs are bent, stacked on top of each other, and your top hand can be on your hip. Okay, make sure your heels are in line with your butt. Look at Emma if you're confused. And then keep the top leg bent, just lift it up. Yeah, and then close it. And we're gonna keep going. So really press out of your right forearm so you're not collapsing in the shoulder and the oblique. Okay, St. Jordi.
Yes. More people are out than usual, basically. And a guy literally ran away as we were walking towards him, and then I heard his wife yell. I think he thought she was a hyena.
I just hear that name and I shut up. Mufasa. Ooh. Do it again. Mufasa. Ooh.
And I heard his wife yell, like, it's just a puppy. So he literally ran away from us because he was scared of Nellie.
Okay, but the thing is, if you see Nellie from afar, she does
look pretty scary. She does look pretty scary.
She looks like a dog that's gonna like fuck you up.
Yeah, true.
I'm sorry to tell you, but she's actually not. And then once you get closer, she has these like the softest, cutest eyes that you're immediately like you realize that she wouldn't hurt a fly. For 4. But it's just it's her tiger stripes. For 3.
She does look like a hyena, to be fair. I'm not insulted.
For 2.
It's true. I like that she looks scary. I was insulted that he ran away.
Oh, hold the leg lifted and hold. Okay, we're gonna lift the bottom butt cheek off of the floor. So lift, yeah, this is gonna be a lot on the bottom shoulder and the bottom oblique, and then come all the way down. Keep that top leg lifted if you can. If it's too much, close it and stack them. You can also put the top hand in front on the floor. Can you show that, for a little bit of support if you need to? If not, have the hand on the hip. You can also reach the arm all the way up to the ceiling if that feels better.
Yeah.
So you can kind of pick. All right, let's take 5 more.
I also like to put my hand here sometimes just to feel more bottom oblique.
All right, for 4. Yeah, I feel like this can get really shouldery. For 3. I love a defined shoulder. I know we shouldn't talk about the physical things, but it's the truth. For 2.
A strong delt.
Hot. Yeah. Okay, hold your bottom butt cheek lifted. Hold, top arm goes high up to the ceiling. Keep your leg lifted. We're gonna thread the needle, and I want you to rotate the hips a ton. So don't keep them stacked. Yeah, the bottom leg will kind of close. Top leg will kind of close, and then come all the way back to where you came from. All right, let's take 8 total. You just did 1. For 7, this is really hard.
This is super challenging. Yeah, we haven't done this in a long time.
I know. You can always remember, close the top leg if it's too much to do that rotation with the leg open. For 6. Good. All right, for 5. Beautiful. Last 4.
Also, so much glute.
I know, I'm sorry. I know, this is upper body and abs. You've got to put a little glute in there. For 3.
Yeah.
Bottom glute especially, right? I guess top glute also because the leg is open. For 2. You're gonna give me 1 more thread the needle. Yep. And then you're gonna unthread and then lower yourself all the way down. You're done with that. Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna come into what I call an equal sign plank, which Emma was very confused by when I went through the class. So imagine an equal sign, you'll get it. Just look at Emma with the right arm forward. 2 long legs behind you, meet me in a full plank. Okay. You're going to remove the right forearm off of the floor. You're going to open your body towards the right side. You are now into a side plank. Top foot is in front of bottom foot on the floor. Bring the right arm back in front of the left arm. You're now into a full plank. Good. And now we're going to remove the left arm and come into a full side plank. Top foot in front of bottom foot. And then we're going to keep going. 8 total. You just did 2. All right. For 6. All right. For 5. The last 2, we're going to do a 10-second hold.
Yay.
Her favorite for 4.
We also haven't done this in a long time.
For 3, I was feeling inspired. I wonder why. For 2, I had a little smoke before writing the class. All right, hold your side plank on your right forearm and just hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. You're gonna hold on the other side and just hold. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Nice job. All right. We're going to do the right forearm on the other side. Your shoulder's probably going to be on fire on this side because we just did the equal sign plank. So we're going to come onto our left forearm. Did I say right? Mm-hmm. Sods. Left forearm, both legs bent, stacked on top of each other. Okay. And then that top hand can start on your hip. And we're just going to lift that top leg up, keeping it bent. So open your legs like a book. And then you're going to close. Okay, what was the second insult?
The second insult was the same, that I heard someone yell also, is that a hyena, from afar. I guess not an insult. I wasn't as insulted by that as I was by the guy running away.
It's just like no one has a pet hyena. Like I'm confused why people...
I've seen people walking around here with dogs that look very much like wolves. So I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there's some like weird hybrids around here.
I guess, but it's like when you actually think about it, like you might think it's a wolf, but then just think for a second. Obviously, it's not a wolf. For 7, you know what I mean? Like obviously, this is not a hyena. For 6. All right. For 5,
how else have people insulted Dougie? Or am I the only one?
No, they always think it's a girl.
Oh.
Every single time a random meets them, she's like, "What's her name?"
And you get offended?
Yeah. Why do you assume it's a girl? For 2? Because it's a doodle?
Yeah.
Okay, hold the leg open. Okay, we're going to lift the bottom butt cheek off of the mat. Yep. And then we're going to come all the way down. And we're going to keep going. So remember, if you need more help, put the top hand in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay, for 8, what were you going to say?
That I feel like I need to now say that I love Dougie.
And I know you do. For 7, I
would never mean to hurt his feelings.
No, it's more that like for 6, I think if he was actually fat and you called him fat, I'd be like, I guess it's fair. But he's not fat. For 5. All right, last 4. Okay, for 3. Nice.
Way harder on this side.
Yeah, I know, because we've already worked this shoulder. For 2. Okay, you're gonna meet me lifted and you're gonna hold. Top arm goes high up to the ceiling and we're gonna thread the needle. Hell yeah. And then we're gonna unthread. So remember, as you do this, the hips are rotating. So the top leg is kind of closing and rotating inwards. Okay, 8 total, you just did 2. All right, for 6. I did insult my friend Emma, other Emma. For 5, her dog was like a little multi-poo. I called him a wimp. I said he was the biggest wimp ever. For 4. She didn't like that.
She didn't like that?
No. For 3, which in hindsight I understand. For 3.
I mean, the dog is the size of a stuffed animal. Like, it's a fair comment.
It is a wimp, I know. But I guess why say it to her, you know? All right, you're going to give me one more. And then unthread, come all the way down. You're done with that. Hell yeah.
Oy.
Okay, the last plank, and then we get to stretch. So let's plank on our hands and a forearm stuff today. So 2 long legs behind you, okay? And we're gonna end with 10 pike to planks. So We're gonna lift our butt all the way up to the ceiling. Keep the heels super high in your pike. So aim your butt directly up, not like back. Yeah, and then come back into a plank. So 10 total. And try to go as slow as possible. Like Emma, again, if you finish your 10 before Emma, you can stop. Nice. And if it's too difficult to keep the legs super straight in your pike, you can always bend them a little bit like Emma for 8.
I have tight hammies, which is why I'm doing this.
Yeah. Okay, for 7.
But ideally, when you're doing a pike, you don't want to round your low back. That's what you're trying to avoid. So nice neutral spine
For
as
6.
you lift.
Yeah. So like, in other words, if it's helpful, like just don't tuck the pelvis. For 5. Wow, she's going really slow. No rush. For 4. It's just the clock is ticking. Okay, for 3. For 2. You're gonna give me one more pike and then meet me in your plank, and we're just gonna hold for 10, 9, 8, abs in, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees. Come all the way down. Oh, good job. That was amazing.
That was a great class.
Let's stretch out. Thank you very much. I could tell it was good. I could just like feel it. We're gonna stretch our shoulders. So sit onto your butt, onto your heels. Yes, and then cross your left arm across your body. Yeah, and then pull the arm towards your chest as you press your chest into your arms. So kind of do both things. That way you can really feel a stretch in the left shoulder. Okay, and then before we go to the other side, put your right hand down onto the floor pretty far away from your body. And then left arm goes overhead, and you're basically creating like a half rainbow. Yeah, and bring your hand even further away from your body if you want, like even more. You should feel a big stretch in the side of your back.
That's nice.
Okay, and then let's do the other arm. So right arm, go center. Pull on it as you press your chest in. And then left hand goes down to the floor to the side of your body. And then rainbow arch the right arm. And she's all done.
Wow, thank you.
Congratulations.
That was great. I got some mustache sweat. Bye.